front. Indeed. Would you say that people are frightened of you?
Sometimes, yes.
What is it about you that frightens people?
My boldness, because I'm very confrontational,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it's hard for people to hide from me when they meet me.
Are you frightened of anybody yourself?
I suppose I have been, yeah. Yeah.
What makes you nervous of people?
I feel the most nervous around people who can't be honest with me, who can't look me in the eye, who are afraid of really presenting themselves to me and being honest.
Were you always powerful? Were you always confrontational? Have you changed?
I don't know if I've always been powerful, but I certainly have always been confrontational, yes.
Do you like being powerful? Do you like power?
Who doesn't?
Not everybody. Do you like
really?
the
Name one person who doesn't like power.
No, everybody wants to be famous.
No, it's not just fame. It's power is, anyone can have power. I mean, it's how you feel about yourself, it's how you carry yourself. It's the effect that you have on people. It doesn't necessarily, it's not synonymous with fame. And I think that I don't think you would find a human being on this earth that wasn't interested in power.
Yes, it's how you exercise it, of course, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think you exercise it properly?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Is anybody likely to tell you to your face if you don't?
There are many people who disagree with my opinions and my points of views and the way that I live my life or carry on, and they're welcome to their opinions.
But within your own circle, is there anybody who ever disagrees with you?
Yes.
What do you do to them?
What do I do to them?
Yeah.
I have them sentenced to jail and I have their heads cut off.
Yeah. But what I mean is, do you welcome
I listen to,
disagreement?
yes, I absolutely insist on it. I don't want a bunch of people, you know, running around kissing my ass all the time. I prefer people to be really upfront and honest with me. I don't mind that because it gives me a chance to explain not only to them, but once again myself, why I do the things I do. It's good.
Is this a philosophy that you've grown to that's evolved within you, or something that?
Yes,
that
because
you
when I was younger, it was very hard for me to take criticism, you know, and I think it's hard for most people when they're young to be told that they're wrong or that someone disagrees with them or whatever. But I've learned to, I've actually learned to appreciate it, criticism.
So if somebody comes up to you and says, "I didn't like the way you performed,"
I'll say why. And
they'll say, you didn't sing very well, and will you argue with them and say, yes, I did, or will
well, I'll say, well, we'll have a discussion about it, yeah. And sometimes they'll be right, and sometimes they'll disagree.
You won't always be right.
No. Sometimes they'll be right. Sometimes if they say, listen, you sang like shit last night, they could quite possibly be right. You know, whatever. Or, listen, I thought you were really impatient with this person when you were talking to them, or you were rude, or whatever. Sometimes I am, and I will agree with it, you know.
The thing that I noticed about, that everybody noticed about you, so you'll excuse me if you've been asked this before, you seem to reinvent yourself every few years. Is that a conscious thing, or do you just get tired of yourself and say, I want a new Madonna every couple of years?
Well, I don't think it's a question of getting tired of myself, but it's like, it's all different aspects of my personality, and I just kind of I focus in on different aspects of my personality, and I kind of get very involved in it, you know. I mean, like, sometimes I'll feel very vulnerable, and that's how I'll appear. Sometimes I'll feel very strong, and that's how I'll appear. I mean, I don't think there's a big difference between what I do and what, say, De Niro does when he gets completely involved in a character, and for that 6 months or whatever, he walks around all day long with his, you know, weighing 40 pounds more than he does, with long hair or whatever, and he completely changes, you know, his appearance. And, you know, obviously he's searching out, you know, I don't think an actor chooses to do roles in movies that he can't somehow relate to in some way, you know. So, in a way, I think it's very similar. You know, I'm just kind of acting out different parts of my personality.
Does it strike you that sometimes, for instance, if you feel your popularity is flagging, that you must be more outrageous, you must do something else?
No, that's my personality. I've always been that way.
How about your life now? As we look out here, we can see a huge yacht out in the bay. And
Not my yacht.
Joan Le Pen. No, that's my one.
Oh.
But it's a fine yacht too. But as you look out at it, the good life, etc. Do you ever stop and think, what am I doing here?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And if you look back on the hard days, maybe not bad days, but hard days in New York, what do you think about? Do you think, how did I get here?
I say, wow, you know, a lot has changed. I've come a long way. If I sometimes I think, God, did I know when I was 17, sitting on the fountain in the middle of Lincoln Square, wondering if I was ever going to have a friend, or wondering what was going to happen. Could I ever have imagined that this would happen to me, you know? And I can't, you know, it's unfathomable sometimes.
When you were there, did you have dreams that you would be where you are now?
Well, I had dreams, but I mean, I didn't know what the south of France looked like. I'd never been anywhere except Michigan and New York, so how could I even know, you know?
Have you ever thought of running for political office?
Well, I guess I have thought about it, but I'm kind of politically ignorant about a lot of things, so I wouldn't dare to exercise that notion at this point in my life.
You are a role model. You're a strong woman. We've had a woman prime minister in Britain. You've never had a woman president in the United States. Mm. Have you any hopes, dreams?
I make jokes about it. A lot of times people say, well, when are you going to run for president or whatever? Well, I don't know. Be careful what you wish for is what I say.
That's right, you might get it.
We are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl.
Would you like to have children?
Yes, I would.
How many?
I don't know. Let's start with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you found anybody that you'd like to be father to those children, to settle down with?
No. Unfortunately.
So you're very honest and straightforward, but there is, everybody has some kind of facade, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah. If I'm hurt, I try to cover it up with bravado, of course. It doesn't matter to me. Big deal, whatever. But, you know, I think people do that all the time.
Because of your fame, because of your power, because of your confrontational personality, do you frighten men?
I don't know. Do I frighten you?
Yes. Do you, I mean, men that you might think are attractive, which lets me out, but men that you might think are attractive and you would like to get to know better, would be afraid to come within 100 yards of you.
Well, I just say, look, if they're not, obviously I couldn't be with someone that's afraid of me. So, you know, it's not like I'm a big surprise to people. If a man sees me and they see the life I lead, everybody knows the kind of life I lead. You know, if they're willing to come within, 20 feet of me, then I think they pretty much know what's going on, you know. And if they're frightened of me, then they shouldn't come near me.
What chance have you got of a normal, if any, a normal relationship?
What's a normal relationship?
Well, an ordinary man and woman relationship that isn't constantly exposed to press speculation or the media.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not sitting here feeling like, oh, it's hopeless, I can't have a relationship with anybody, you know. And I think a relationship, especially in the lifestyle that I lead and in the business that I'm in, is very difficult.
Do you have time to be sad about that, or does that occasionally?
Time to be sad?
To be sad about it.
Of course I do. Yes. I mean, fame and fortune isn't everything. So.
You have you don't regret it though. You don't.
No.
There's no point where you say.
No, because I have loved and I've had a very good life, and I have great hope about that. You know. There's been some talk with you, Michael Jackson, about, as we've talked about you changing your image. Mm-hmm. Are you going to change Michael Jackson's image? There has been speculation about that. I know. When I guess you know, we've become friends, and we were speaking of working together, and we're not working together right now. I mean, I was going to do a song with him on his new album that's coming out. And we got together, and I can't help it. You can see how I am with the dancers. I sort of have to get my hands in there and go, oh, you should do this, you should wear that, you should cut your hair, you should do, and I gave him a lot of books to read and director's reels, and I wanted, because I think he's very talented, but I felt that he needed to be exposed to more things than he had been exposing himself to, so I tried to have an influence on him. I don't know if he's going to heed any of my advice. After all, he's done pretty well for himself without me, so.
Would you have to be the boss in any relationship?
In a professional relationship?
In a personal relationship?
The boss. No, I don't want to be the boss all the time. I would like to be with someone who is my equal, so it's a back and forth kind of a thing. Sometimes they're in charge, sometimes I'm in charge. It's a compromise. So.
You mean that?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I mean, if I'm with someone and I'm the boss all the time, I'm going to lose interest in them. So.
Of course, but it's going to take a very strong man.
That's right.
And he's out there somewhere.